Happy Saturday, friends. Welcome into the Saturday Morning Comics Show. This is the show where I'm usually going through all the stuff that's going on around here, sometimes sharing movies, TV shows, comics, packages I've gotten in the mail, and anything to look forward to going on in the next week. Specifically, the next week for me is very exciting because I'm going to my first convention of the con season. This is my what I would consider my backyard Comic Con in Anaheim. It's called WonderCon, and it's a fairly large convention given the fact that we're so close to LA and San Diego. It's still a pretty significant Comic Con. And so I'm going to be going through who's coming, what I'm making a plan. Is there anybody in particular that I'm hoping to see? Anybody that I want to get some signatures from or some remarks done or any variants that I'm looking for, those kinds of things. So that will be in the latter half of this live stream. I've also got a really nice AOK in the mail from one of the folks who's usually in our chat and probably will be joining us soon. I've got some new hardcovers that I got from In Stock Trades. And so I want to go and share some of those. And then I'm going to go through some of the things I've been reading lately. I've been trying to keep up on the One World Under Doom Marvel series. So I've been trying to read not all the tie-ins. And then I've been reading several things for, live streams. Like I had 3 omnibus related live streams last week. So it was a lot of, reading classic stuff or older stuff in a lot of ways. So that's my plan for today. Thank you all for coming and spending a little time hanging out. Let's say hello to the chat. We had one tailgater. We had my friend Bethany, Lady B was in the chat tailgating, which is rare. Las Cruces must have a big day, something going on in his neighborhood today. He's usually that first one in the chat. So I appreciate you, Bethany, holding it down for him. JP, I was on last night talking about Daredevil with JP, a very fun conversation. If you missed it, if you're a Bendis era Daredevil fan like myself, I think hopefully you could get a lot of reminiscing out of it. If you've never read Daredevil, maybe you could get a little knowledge out of it. But I think we had a really good conversation going in and around that first volume, those first important issues in that run. We've got the other half of Lady Bethany. We've got DJ Wise in the chat. What is going on? Hope you guys are having a good Saturday so far. We've got Wellbore in the chat. What's going on, Wellbore? Good to see you this morning. We got Cliff on comics. What's going on, Cliff? Last night I caught Cliff twice on the YouTubes. He had his comics with Cliff, cocktails and comics with Cliff last night, and he had Joel the Geek, one of my favorite community members, on, and their conversation was so entertaining. And was watching the rewind this morning because I only watched the first like 2/3. I was in the chat for a good while, and then apparently I dropped an incredible hot take and bounced. So then I was getting ready for my live stream, and I hear my phone's ringing, and I see that it's Cliff, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if his show's over. I answer, and he's got me on speaker, and I invaded the live stream to have to not defend, but certainly take the lashings for my hot take. The hot take was that I had not read George Perez and Kurt Busiek's JLA versus Avengers, or I think it's just JLA Avengers. I've not read it, and it was in my mind just sort of one of many Marvel DC crossover books, and I've read some. I have not read others. The only one I particularly like and own, I know for sure, is of course, the New Teen Titans X-Men one. So yes, I took my lashings. They definitely raked me over the coals. And then later he was on Jig's Kingdom, and Jiggs was acting a fool. He's never going to watch this stream. I'm just going to say it. Jiggs was acting a fool, and Cliff stood up and spoke his truth, and I appreciated hearing Cliff do that. So I got to see Cliff twice last night. It was very entertaining. That's a sign of a good evening. We got Derek in the chat. What's going on, Derek? Happy Saturday. We made it. We survived. Whitewell Comics. He was on with JP talking about Little Bird. And I don't know if he's still talking to JP after that, because JP refused to admit that Little Bird's the greatest comic ever made. So that may have, burned a couple of bridges. It's possible D&D on Sunday night is going to be a little bit awkward. We maybe get the hammer laid down on us by the DM because of JP's antics. Just be ready. JLA Avengers. Is it JL Avengers? Is it JL Avengers? Is legend. It's legend. Okay, there you go. So it's got to be on my reading list apparently. Nah, we're good. Okay. I mean, Alec, nobody's gonna be against you for feeling that way. I'm just saying, like, clearly JP is the one in the wrong here. It's fair. Happy March Madness from Coach Vic. That might explain where everybody is this weekend. Is this the first weekend of March Madness? Am I off, Vic? Are there a bunch of games going on today? I usually enjoy college basketball, but I'm definitely out of the loop this season. So I'm not up on anything this season. Usually that's one of the things that I can get into. And when I was teaching third grade, we always had math madness this time of year, and the kids would have to, do statistics for the different teams, and they would choose a team and see how they did. And it was a little bit like a sports book in my third grade class. So, but that was always very entertaining because then parents and would always talk a little bit more about the colleges they went to, and the kids would learn a little bit about basketball, and we would always do a couple of PE lessons in and around basketball at the same time. So very entertaining. Round 1 concluded last night, so round 2 is today, says Derek. Thank you so much. Women's UCLA usually has either one or the other, right? A great women's team or a great men's team. It's never usually both at the same time, but sometimes they pull it off. But it's always an entertaining school for basketball. And obviously, Coach Vic knows my sister went there, and my dad, huge John Wooden fan. He has a signed basketball by Wooden, and used to have, my brothers and I chipped in for him to have. I think we did. Maybe it was my dad bought him himself. But he had season tickets to Wooden Court, Nell and John Wooden Court there in UCLA. So we would go up and watch games fairly often, and he would always be there. John Wooden continued to go to games all the way up until he passed. So it was always kind of fun to go to see him there, the legend. Everybody would cheer for him, clap for him. And he was just always part of that program all the way to the end. It was amazing. Can you send a shout out to your coworker Adele again? Adele, I'm so happy that you're you're so blessed to be able to work with someone like Ryan. I tend to call him several times a week. He's just one of those awesome guys. So pat him on the back, give him his daily morning hug. He deserves it. And I hope you're doing well, Adele. I hope your Saturday's off to a good start. So today I want to kick it off with my purchase from In Stock Trades. I got 2 hardcovers. And the reason I'm kind of excited about it is because I checked off another in the final 5 Uncanny X-Men Omnis that I need. So I am down now to 4. And the final 4, if you find them anywhere, I guess this is, I don't know that I needed to say that as a March Madness reference, but the last 4 Omnis that I'm looking for, there are 2 in the Inferno storyline. One of them is called, I think, Prologue or Prelude to Inferno, and the other one is the Inferno Omnibus. So those 2 I'm still looking for, and the last 2 that I need, the hardest ones to find, are the Jim Lee era Omnis, and there's 2 of those, one for Uncanny and one for regular, like adjective-free X-Men. So those 2 Omnis I'm also looking for. So those are the last 4, and then I will have completed my set. That's where I'm at. So the one I got this round is the Fall of the Mutants Omnibus with this kind of sad cover, but we're working on the back cover. That's where we're at with this one. Super pumped on grabbing that. So yes, this is one of the final 5, but now final 4, right? And no, they're not Cylons, but that would make it even cooler. So I'm very pumped on this one. That takes me down to just those last 4 to grab. Feeling good about completing this and staying under the MSRP. I've avoided up to now overpaying for any of these Omnis, and I'm feeling very strong about that. Feeling very good about that. We got Brucifer in the chat. What's going on, Bruce? Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, stay away from trademarks this week. You get in a lot of trouble. What's going on, Herminio Reyes? Herminio. I remember when was who was that? Comic Man Andy used to do that for Big Herm. That was always the best intro. He could crush that. Always loved that. Um, so that makes me very pumped on the omnibus side. I've got those final 4 to look for, but they tend to all be the harder ones to find, especially those 2 Jim Lee ones. People are usually asking for double MSRP on those books. So if I'm patient enough, maybe Marvel will come back around to reprinting yet again, and I can just snag them for the discounted price at my LCS. But until that happens, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for those and for the Inferno ones as well. So there you go. The other book I got, I was reminded by Lane, the Unruly Simeon, that the 3rd volume in Savage Dragon's hardcover set was going on sale. And not only that, it was like $23 for this hardcover, which these are great editions of the Savage Dragon. These are the original stories. So this covers through issue 35. They usually have each of them about 12 to 15 issues, give or take. And they've only published the first 3. So this is volume 3, as you can see in the corner there. But this one was the next volume out. And on in stock trades, this was $23, $24, like something in that range. Really cheap. Really, really a steal. You got to do it. Oh, did JB Discovery Bay started that? There it is. And yes, Andy perfected it. There you go. That makes total sense. Oh, a couple of awesome new friends jumping in the chat. Got to say hello to Paul from Sector 2815. Happy Saturday to you, Paul. I hope your Saturday's kicking off well. And Rod the Rican in the chat. What is going on, my friend? How is your Saturday going, Rod? Hope things are kicking off right. JSS Brooklyn, what is going on? Happy Saturday to you. Everybody bouncing through here. I appreciate you all coming by and hanging out for a little bit. So yeah, I am a Savage Dragon fan. I'm an Eric Larson fan, especially the first, I would say like 100 or so issues, the original run with the original dragon, because obviously he passes away, spoiler, and his son is currently the dragon. So the original Savage Dragon run I'm a big fan of it. And I don't know how many of these I'll collect, but if they keep dropping them for such a cheap price, $24 a pop, I will absolutely be buying them. It's basically $2 an issue, and you get it in this lovely hardcover size. I mean, I'm all in. And it's oversized. It's a larger than comic book size. So that's another cool thing about it too. So there you go. Those were my pickups from in stock trades. I'm always on the watch for in stock trades to kind of see what's coming up, what deals are happening. But when Unruly Simeon told me, "Hey, John, this book's on sale. The price is really cheap. You should check it out," I was like, "Yep, I'm getting that." And then it was like, "Okay, do they have any of the others?" And thankfully they still had that Fall of the Mutants Omni. I think it's out of print. I think they've just got whatever's left in stock at this point for that omnibus. So they're just little by little kind of going through it. Collector P is in the chat. What is going on? Happy Saturday to you. And I'm not going to say it, but you're not wrong. I would say it's kind of neat. I would say it's kind of neat. It's definitely kind of neat. The next thing I got here, and he's not in the chat yet, but I know Robb Boswell is usually bouncing around, but he messaged me. Was it just last week? He messaged me and said, "I've got something that I think is perfect for you, and I want you to have it." And he said, "If you want to give it away to somebody as a prize, fine. If you want to keep it, fine. But I think you should have this." And he sent it out, and it's a slab right here, and it's got a note on it. And he says, "John, thank you for putting quality content out for the comic community and the comic and collecting community. I appreciate you. This slab is for you. You can choose to keep it, give it away to your channel members. Your call, along with all the included swag. Thank you for being a good friend, Rob." And he's got one of his stickers on here. He's got that great ASM homage for his sticker, which is so fantastic. The amazing Rob. And then he sent me a little box of like goodies in here that I'll do second. But the slab is so fantastic, dare I say, because it's a Fantastic Four issue 26 cover, but it says Saturday morning right on it, and you got John and Ben. They're exercising in the morning with, it looks like Kang and what is that? Ulysses Claw looking in the window there. And he's like, Saturday morning. It's a Saturday morning variant, John. You got to have this. You've been doing the Saturday morning show. So there it is. The Saturday morning variant with the boys. This is fantastic, my guy. This is so perfect, Rob. It looks so great. I love it. The cover is by Sean Galloway. And I guess there's a whole Saturday morning set of these variants, which I've never seen before. So I may have to start looking to see, what other ones are out there. But yeah, Johnny and Ben doing their morning workout, I thought was very funny. And this is great. So huge thank you, Rob. That was very, very kind of you, my guy. And I appreciate it in a big way. So this is issue 26, if you want to know which issue that was. That's from just this last December. Really cool. Yeah, absolutely cool. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. That's my phrase for the day. It's kind of neat. But he also sent this awesome box full of swag gear. So it's got fun little Robb Boswell pins, that same ASM. Am I holding upside down? Oh, I got it right, I think. But ASM pins and buttons. So the Robb Boswell logo buttons. He's got some stickers. Got some Robb Boswell stickers. I usually put those on my short boxes and on my store folios. So I've got a wonderful community collection going of stickers on store folios and stuff. And he's even got some that are like the shiny foily kind of style. So all these awesome stickers. He's got keychains. How do I not have this stuff? I got to start like working with his merch guy. Look at that. Like he's got Robb Boswell keychains. He's even got like the Robb Boswell comics with the Venom. Because I believe this might be his. I want to say, is this Shop? Maybe Shop for Comics made this for him. I can't remember who did the Venom Spider-Man thing. So cool. And he's got Spidey drinking his coffee. He's got is this a surfboard? What is this? This looks like a Mustang, like a Mustang hood ornament. He's got Raymond Grace. I don't know this artist. Raylan Grace. It's like Spider-Gwen. That's cool. My girls might actually take those and put them on their short boxes, the Spider-Gwen ones. And then lastly, he's got this coin. I'm going to try to open that up here. I didn't inspect things too much. I just unboxed them and then kept them until today. Let's see. It is, oh my goodness, my eyes are getting that bad. I can't even read it. My goodness, John. Oop. So it says, put on the whole armor of God, pray always, helmet, shield, breastplate. It's basically like a, oh my goodness, I don't know that I can explain it very well, but it's gorgeous. This coin is really cool. It's a part of his, like faith, right? Faith and family. I'm not going to get it to focus very well. I'm sorry about that. Boomer eyes look the other way. Hey, I got to what I got to do, Tony, is hold it out so far that I can actually read the small print. The spirit, the gospel of peace, the gift of truth, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of the righteousness. There it is. That was the really tiny word I couldn't read, but it's just gorgeous, Rob. That's really beautiful. Is it a challenge coin? I don't think so. It feels like something I would use when I'm doing like I've done soccer referee work for AYSO in the past, and you can bring your own coin as long as you tell the kids this is heads, this is tail. You can flip it. The armor of God, right? Did I get it mostly right, Coach Vic? He might be familiar, but it's just gorgeous. Really nice coin. So I might keep this with my soccer ref gear because I can use it. I can use the coin for that too. Like bring it out to the matches and flip the coin. This is heads. This is tails. It's BYOC, right? Bring your own coin. But Rob, huge thank you, my man. That's very kind of you, my friend. And I can't believe that you packed all this stuff in here. So hugely appreciative. I don't know that I'm going to give that slab away. I kind of want to keep it. It feels perfect for decorating for this show and the girls and I and how long we've been doing this. So absolutely want to keep that. I can't imagine giving that away. Uh, but we shall see. Gore Vidal's in the chat. What's going on? He says, Howard, troubled soul. Did I miss who's the Howard I'm talking about? Did I miss a Howard? Did I miss a Howard? I might have missed a Howard. I don't know which Howard we're talking about. Is that Puerto Rico? Is that a Puerto Rico thing? PR. Or is that a personal record? It could be that too. Yeah, Tony is in the chat making fun of my eyes. I appreciate you, Tony. Let's see who else we got in the chat here. Did I miss anybody? Gore is saying hi to everybody. Oh, there's the bearded comic bro. I'm going to be seeing the bearded comic bro in a couple of weeks. And for those that don't remember it, I need to re-share the video where I pledged $100 to Jennifer from Comic Books Will Break Your Heart for her GoFundMe. And it was for the privilege of slapping him. It was a slap bet. If you've watched the show How I Met Your Mother, they often had these recurring themes of slap betting. And he made the bold claim on a show with Dan from Comic Chop News that, hey, if anybody pledges $100, they could slap him. And I said, he used the term Will Smith slap. And I bid. I won. I got the prize. So very much excited to meet this gentleman in person. And I've been exercising. I've been stretching. Been trying to keep myself ready, get myself in shape and ready for that. So good to see you, Greg. I hope things are going well. White Tiger is back. What's going on, Ruben? Good to see you. What am I wearing? This is a Howard the Duck T-shirt, and it says "kind of neat." It's kind of neat, and I'm trying to someone refresh me who gave it to me. It wasn't Paul. Rat. My memory this morning. I woke up very early, and my brain is not 100% awake. So Ephesians 6:11 through 18. There's even a comic Bible. What? That's fantastic. Will Smith looks like he has heavy hands. Get ready. Anything to slap cancer out of here. I like that attitude. But you may feel differently in a couple weeks. Good morning, though, everybody. So yeah, that's the unboxings that I've got here. I want to get into the main topic for the day. Oh, Howard is the troubled soul. Howard the Duck is the troubled soul. And now I get it. Make sure you eat the stinkiest food before you slap, John. Oh, okay. Is that important? Is that phase something in? So let's talk about convention season. Comic-Con, baby. I have not been to a convention in an exact, I think it's been exactly no. I did go to one day of SDCC last year. And so it's about 8 months, I guess, 9-10 months. But I'm excited to return to my hometown, backyard, neighborhood Comic-Con in Anaheim, the WonderCon. This convention is right on the footsteps of Disneyland here in Southern California. And it's the convention that I tend to make sure I attend at least a day or so of every year. Last year, I went to all 3 days. I took a day off of work. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday convention. This year, I am doing just Saturday and Sunday. I'm not able to take off that Friday, but I'm hoping to meet a lot of friends. I know Rob from Rob's Fat Stacks. He's going to be there, and we're going to hang out a little bit. I know that Doreen Bat Mite is going to be there. I know Steve from Hip Hops and Collectibles. He's going to be there. So a bunch of the local area homies are going to be around. Then we'll do the usual cruising around booths and checking in with artists and creators. So that's going to be the fun, diving into short bins and things like that. Should be a lot of fun. But I wanted to go a little bit through who's going to be attending, start making my list of books I want to pull out to get signatures, anything that I want to get a remark on, or any talents that are coming up that I might want to include in my goal setting, right? Um, so that's what I want to do this morning. Was it Milt? Was it did Milt? It might have been Milt. Yes, Wellbore with the good memory there. Greg says, do it on the opposite side of my mouth from where I will be, yeah, getting my crown put in. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. So let's dive into the things to I think it's under things to do. I will say this website is horrible. And I don't know why they've got such a poor website considering like, how I don't know, there should be a lot of money put into this thing considering that it covers SDCC. It's the same organization that does all this stuff, but they don't really seem to have a very good website. But they've got these plan your visit, things to do. They've got a few different options up here. And what I tend to do is go to things to do. They've got an artist alley section, and then they've got a special guests section. I'm going to start with the special guests because those are the ones that I think most people in this community will care about. The bigger names that are coming. Oh, and look, they've already sending me somewhere else. No, hopefully this page is uploading because they've loaded a few special guests, some fairly big names. I know that some of the guys from Image are coming. The original founders of Image. I believe there's an anniversary coming. So let's hear. Here we go at the top. We got Dennis Cowan, the actor. We've got David Dasmalchian, who's an actor and a comic book creator. But so far, Mitch Gerrits right here is probably the biggest name on my list. I'm a big Mitch Gerrits fan, so I definitely want to either get something signed by him or maybe even get a remark. He may be I'm trying to figure out who will be the final artist on my Rogues Gallery sketch cover. So maybe Mitch is the guy. If his line isn't too long and his prices aren't too much, maybe a remark might be the way to go for Mitch. Sorry, Mitch. Of course, here we go. Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. They are both going to be there Saturday. And I think Todd is staying on Sunday as well. But obviously, those are the biggest names around. Hard to top those guys. Sean Murphy is going to be there. Obviously, a big talent as well. Big name. Let's see. I don't recognize if I'm skipping somebody that you're like, oh, John, how do you not know? Oh, Mark Waid. I don't know that Mark Waid was on there last time. That's awesome to hear. Dan Slott, hugely talented. Let's see what Mark Waid's up to. They tell you. I wonder if the website pretty much sucks. So yeah, there's a QR code. Oh, good. He's going to be there Saturday and Sunday. He's doing some guest sessions. Does he have a booth? He'll be at booth C1. Okay, awesome. Definitely I have some stuff that Mark Waid I'd love to get signed by him. So that might be a big one for me. Whether it's the current stuff like World's Finest, which has been so great, or his Daredevil stuff that I've read. I think I've read almost half of his Daredevil stuff. He's just a really talented gentleman, and I've been enjoying his work for quite a while. So that's awesome. Does Brian he is one of the writers for Grommets. I forgot. Yes. Is he good to chat? Is he good to chat with? That's good to hear. Every time I've heard about Mark Waid and people getting signings, it's always been very positive. So that is a new ad that Mark Waid was not on the website last time I checked. So that's very good news for me. It looks like he's going to be talking with Dan Slott about Superman. He's going to do a couple of Q&As. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Now I got to go back to things to do. And we finished the special guests. I'm going to click on Artist Alley here. And this bit, this is there's the map of the con, which nobody cares. I don't even care. Here's where it gets just grotesque. So this epic list that if you're watching my show right now on your phone, you're like, John, I can't see any of this. So I'm going to make myself a little bigger because you're like, what do you care, John? I don't care. I can't read it. It's too tiny. I'm going to scroll through and I'll just kind of like read it to you. But I will say this is the flaw of the website. If anybody working for this company has a minute, let's fix this, because finding an artist or finding a creator on this list is nearly impossible because everything is organized by the most ridiculous rules of alphabetizing that I've ever heard. I mentioned once that I worked at a video store and they alphabetized movies with numbers at the title and they put them at the beginning of the alphabet, meaning a movie like 12 Monkeys would go before the letter A. And then a movie like 10 Things I Hate About You, 10 would go right before the movie 12 Monkeys, right? So it would alphabetize the numbers before the letters because they used numbers at the beginning of the title, right? And then people were furious in the chat. They were like, why would they do that, John? That's ridiculous. This is worse. This is worse. So if somebody's booth is called The Art of Jim Lee, what would you alphabetize them under? They alphabetize it not under J for Jim, not under L for Lee, not under A for art, but under T for the art of Jim Lee. It's alphabetized under T, the art of Jim Lee. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So the when I'm scrolling through this list, I am absolutely frustrated by how it's like some people's booths are under A for art of Jim Lee. Some people are under T for the art of Jim Lee. And some people are under J for Jim Lee. And other people are under L for Lee. It's like there's no rhyme or reason. It's just whatever that creator chose to name their booth is how it's all alphabetized. It sucks. It sucks. So you ultimately have to scroll through the entire list of artists and creators and read each one as you go through to figure out like who is this person? Do I recognize that name? It's very hard on those boomers, like people like Old Wolf can't figure it out. I think it's discrimination against old people. We should boycott WonderCon. That's not how that works. I think we should just ask them to make a better website. Or a better search engine, perhaps, for their artist alley. I think the creators should be listed by name, alphabetized under their last name. That's logic to me. Wade under W, Lee under L. I don't think it's this complicated, but they really do find a way. So the very one at the beginning here, we've got some artists that have their work under A because it's art by Beverly Salas, art by Genesee, art by Kino, art by Sean Lenahan. So it's just kind of like a lot of this over and over again. But I recognize certain names. Arthur Saddam is one of them, and he is an artist that I've heard of before, right? Arthur Saddam, information about here. I think he does cover artists and stuff, right? Arthur Saddam is a pretty talented guy. I think I've heard his name before. It sounds familiar. It's ringing a bell. But when you click on their name, you tend to get a very generic page with their booth number and a QR code or a link to their personal website. It's not a lot of great information about the person. Okay, Marvel Zombies. Okay, that's good. All right. So I've heard that name at least. Let's see here. And then some of them just have like, again, these are all under A, art by, art of. It's just like so exhausting, guys. It's just tiresome. Artist, Phil Ortiz, under A. Not under P for Phil or O for Ortiz. Kind of disappointing, folks. Just kind of disappointing. Bernard Chang, I've heard of. Let's see. Blake Howard. Let's see. Who am I looking at here? Brian Posehn, we had mentioned earlier, under B for Brian. At least he's not the art of or the writing of Brian Posehn. Brian K. Turner sounds familiar, but I don't think I know off the top of my head. This is when somebody like Greg would be able to tell me. He's probably in the chat going, geez, John, how do you not know all these names? But that's the way it is. That's what you get when you're dealing with a jamoke like me. Dan Slott, obviously we all are familiar with Dan Slott, big name. Let's see here. David Mack is usually always here. He is somebody that I tend to check in with at cons just to say hi, if nothing else. David Mack is just a massive fan. I'm a massive fan of David Mack. I just love his art style. I love his books. So I still have a couple of sketch variants for some stuff that he's done, like cover, that I would like to get signed. Derek Robertson, hit me up. Hit me with the deets on Derek Robertson. Derek Robertson. Hit me up with the deets. But David Mack, David Pepos. I'm a big fan of David Pepos. If you guys have seen like Red Scout's Honor, I know he's been working on X Factor lately. David Pepos, very, very popular. Dustin Nguyen, I'm obviously a big fan of him from Descender. He's done some Batman and Robin stuff. Really talented guy. He's been doing some covers for DC lately. Let's see here. Eva Andrews. I don't know a ton of these names now. I will say I was last time I cruised this list, I was underwhelmed by the names I saw that I didn't recognize a ton of them. Hora Tora, I've interviewed them before. She's got a really she's got that, is it Demon B word? Demon B, I think is Horatora Studios. But again, it's not the artist's name, it's the company name. So it's a little disappointing, some of that stuff. Oh, the boys. Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. Rob, good morning, sir. Ugh, this ugly website, right? That's why I made it so small. I'm intentionally like downplaying them and putting my eyes like looming over the top of it, right? Jamoke. Yes, I'm a Jamoke. You're dating us, Jono. Sometimes those phrases are fun to bring back, you know. That's kind of the entertainment. 62 Lefty Blues in the chat. What is going on? I appreciate you coming by, my friend. Happy Saturday to you. I've just about given up figuring out the list. I respect that decision, Rob. I really do. But I was excited to see that Mark Wade is coming because I did not remember seeing him the last time I looked at this. That was the big update for me to see Mark Wade's name on there. Ideally, I think for this kind of a website, the better thing to do is to follow your favorite writers and artists and see if they post anything about going, right? That's probably a more effective way because this website tends to suck. Jody Hauser, I've heard of her. That name sounds familiar. John Jang, he's come, I think, the last few years. John Jang, the great cover artist. I know that I've got several people in our community that are part of what they jokingly call the Jang Gang. He's got great covers, great variants. I think I bought a couple of covers from him last time I was there. He's really talented. John Boy Myers is going, and I actually was going to bring along a couple of pages of art that he did that are not signed, so I can bring them and have those get signed. So John Boy Myers, I'm definitely going to be cruising by his booth at some point to get that stuff signed. Let me see if he's there all weekend, if he's doing anything special. Nothing special listed, but his booth number is A12, so I will probably just be cruising by his booth at some point and get those pages signed. You just met John Boy Myers yesterday. Look at that! Look at that! We're in simpatico. Yeah, I have 2 pages of Spider-Man artwork that he did. Original art that he's done that are, I think it's pencils and blue lines and no inking or anything like that, but no signature. I got to get those books. I'll get those pages signed for sure if I can do it. Right. Let's see. Jose Pulido is going to be there. He's a big name. Let's see. I got to search my, you know what? Do I have any stuff by Pulido in my collection that I can easily grab out? That's the benefit of CLZ. You can actually like search artists, right? Jose Pulido. No, I don't think I do. Darn it. That's disappointing. How do I got to search a different way. Go to my comics. Let's see here. Do a search. Did I search right? Sometimes I do this wrong. I got to double check my methods here. Yeah. So I don't think I have anything. I may have to look around and check and see if I can grab something while I'm there. Let's see here. Kyle Higgins is going to be there. He's the guy on the what's it, Radiant Black, right? Kyle Higgins. He's a very big name. So that's for some people that are big Radiant Black fans. I know he would definitely check on that. $20 a signature is fair. No, that's fair to get those pieces signed. I'm down for that. But Kyle Higgins, yeah. So if you've got Radiant Black stuff that you want to get signed, he's the man for that. Let's see who else we got here. Now we're into some letter L's here. Luke McGarry, that rings a bell maybe, but I don't know. Mark Teixeira, obviously big name. Mark Wade, big name. Both of those gentlemen going to be there. I definitely will bring some stuff for them. Michael Golden, I'm not a huge Golden fan, but I want to say I've got a couple of books. There were a couple of titles that he did back in the day. Do I have anything by Michael Golden? Yeah, I got some of like Avengers Annual 10. There's some Daredevil, some Deathstroke, some She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk. There was an Avengers, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men annual that we did recently, number 7, that he worked on. So yeah, I don't know. I'm Michael Golden. He's a little off-putting for me. Mitch Jared's obviously definitely gonna check in with Mitch Jared's. I found Michael Golden's prices a little bit steep, uh, but that was just me. Let's see who else we got here. Mm-mm-mm. Do I know? Oh, Peter Smith. That sounds familiar, but maybe it's just such a generic name. I'm like, do I know that name? Let's see. We're in the R's now. Ron Lim, obviously Ron Lim, big name. Silver Surfer fans for sure will be excited for Ron Lim being there. Sean Forney, I definitely know him. Sean Galloway, yep. John Murphy. I wonder if that. Am I just assuming that it's Sean Gordon Murphy, even though it just says Sean Murphy? Maybe there's a Sean Murphy and a Sean Gordon Murphy, New York Times bestselling author and artist. So I'm assuming that that's one and the same, but maybe I'm being I'm assuming maybe too much. Time to get that X-Men. There you go. X-Men 2099. Ron Goldman has a DVD where he draws and shows how cranky he can be. Accurate. That sounds fair. Let's see here. Cruising a little further. No, now we're into the T section, which I jokingly told you is massive because all the booths that have the word "the" at the beginning of their name, like the art of Gabby Ramirez, the art of Kathleen Avalos. So those tend to fill up a lot of space in the T section. But I'm going to scroll past that. We've got obviously Todd McFarlane has his booth, Tim Sheridan. And we're already out of it. Actually, that went a lot faster than I thought. Maybe they fixed some of that, and I think that's it. That is the run, folks. That is the run. So that went a lot faster than I thought it was going to be going. It is the same. Okay, that was my worry. I'm going to stop sharing that. So there you go. Again, I'm still a little underwhelmed by the art and creators that I'm hearing. Last time when I went, there were a lot more names that I was kind of hoping would be returning again this year. I'm trying to think. Obviously, Marv Wolfman was there. Joshua Cassara was there. He's an X-Men artist that has worked during the Krakoan era. He had a booth with somebody else last time. So there were a bunch of artists that are not on that list. Zach Kaplan, okay. So I'm hopeful that maybe the list is incomplete or that there will be late additions, people that make the list later on, or people that are sharing booths and maybe don't have their own name on a booth. Because that happens sometimes too, where it's like, one artist is, renting space in their booth and taking turns with another artist. And that happens sometimes. So that might be a thing that gives me some other talents to come across. But that's also part of the fun of cruising Artist Alley is finding those talents as you're kind of rolling your way through. So that'll be a little bit of my time as well, besides hanging out with guys like Rob, besides hunting in short boxes and trying to make some deals, is going to be cruising Artist Alley to try to meet some creators or find some artists who maybe can do some sketch covers and things for me, because I'll definitely be bringing along one store folio full of those kinds of things. So that's my con plan for this convention coming up next Saturday. There will not be a Saturday morning show next Saturday because that's where I'm going to be. But I might, be doing a lot of stuff, pictures and videos from my Instagram so that you can kind of see what the con looks like and see who I've met with and, what's going on over there. So tune in for some of those shenanigans and some of that fun, because that's going to be most of what my Saturday, Sunday next weekend will be doing. Let's talk reading. What have I got going on? Obviously, I just was reading Daredevil, the Doctor Doom Omnibus, and New Mutants. Those were the live streams last week. I was doing a little bit of omnibus kind of discussions and reviews last week. JP and I decided that the next month, what we're going to be trying to read through is Batwoman. I've been trying to get back through and finish this omnibus. I read the Detective Comics stories that appear at the beginning of this. I believe it's 7 or 8 issues. Let's see, Detective 854 through 863. So it's about 10. I guess it's 10 issues of Detective Comics. Then it jumps right into Batwoman 0 plus 0 through 24 and the annual number 1. So there's still about 30 issues I have never read here. This is J.H. Williams for the most part on most of the work, but Greg Rucka is definitely a big part of it as well. I loved the Detective Comics stories. So I'm very, very excited to be finishing this omnibus. So at some point near the end of April, JP and I will be doing another live stream just breaking this omnibus down and talking a little bit about the story, the characters, the plots, and all the things going on in there. Jordan Morris is going to be there. You should pick up Bubble if you haven't read it yet. Okay. I'm going to have to remind myself Bubble by Jordan Morris. Add that to my list. Add it to the list. That's my Captain America methodology. So, yes, Batwoman is coming up as a big read. I've also got, move some stuff around. Next week, first up is Black Panther on actually, it's backwards. Tuesday is 100 Bullets. I'm on JP's channel, and we're continuing our dive through 100 Bullets by reading Volume 7, which is called Samurai, and Volume 8, which is called The Hard Way. So we will be discussing some 100 Bullets on JP's channel. So that's what I'm going to be finishing up this weekend. I've pretty much finished reading it, but I've also read it several times. So it's not a first time through. Then Wednesday, I'm on No Good Comics channel, and we're doing the Reginald Hudlin Black Panther. So this is the first complete collection of 3. This one covers the first 18 issues of the run, plus the 2 X-Men issues that are related to the wedding of Aurora and T'Challa. So that is going to be over on his channel on Wednesday. So yeah, 2 fun discussions going on there. And then Friday, the 28th, the Court of Beards and Bourbon come back, and we're going to finish off the Thorns and Roses saga, at least where it is currently, by discussing Court of Silver Flame. And it's going to be the spicy one. It's going to be the one where, adult supervision is required. We'll throw up the warning several times, I'm sure. Several community members more than likely joining us for that discussion, but specifically No Good Comics, Bearded, and myself. So that would be a whole lot of fun. And then the weekend hits, and I'll be at the convention for the weekend having a grand old time. I'm also going to be trying to hunt down fun books for my 3,000 giveaway because I'm getting awful close. I'm at 47 subscribers away from hitting 3K. And when I do, obviously, we're going to have a fun party. We're going to give away a lot of fun things, and it should be an entertaining time to be had by all. And as I promised, there'll be gifts for people in the chat. There'll be gifts for people that are channel members. There'll be gifts for people that leave comments on my videos. I'll have a list for that as well. Specifically the videos and the live streams, not the shorts necessarily. It'll probably be just the videos and the live streams. So lots of ways to get in on those giveaways for certain. Make sure you're hanging out and joining up as many ways as you can. 62 says, if you have not heard of Fantagraphics, it's having their big sale this weekend. Spend 50 and get 50 in Fantagraphic bucks to use later, and it doesn't expire. Ooh, that's a sweet deal. Let people know. Letting the people know. As Rod would say, let the people know. So yeah, that's my reading for the next month that I'm working on, of course, and in that same time frame, Stu from Dr. Doom's fan club and I will be finishing the Doom Omnibus. We're at the very end of that story. We did the Secret Wars. We did the graphic novel, Triumph and Torment and Emperor Doom. So we are out of the John Byrne era into the next phase, which I believe is Walt Simonson's FF era in the 90s and early 2000s. And it finishes with the Books of Doom miniseries, which I think is 6 issues long. So that's all coming up over the next month. So many good things, so many fun things going on, and it should be a heck of a good time here on the channel. Uh, Thank you to the channel members. Obviously, Rob and Sarah are holding it down on the new Comic Book Day Coalition, and they're helping to choose books that I review each month. Really, it's Rob until if there's another person, then there's a tie. Then Sarah is the tiebreaker for that. And then we've got my X-Men squad, which is now so massive I can barely fit it on one slide. Shout out to people like Rob who have donated 5 channel memberships here, and I think this has just been growing because of some really generous folks in our community, and I appreciate that. That means all these people are on the list for getting a spin on the wheel at the end of each month. They have the chance to win the giveaway prize, which has some fun variants, a trade paperback, some swag, so some goodies going out every month. And then I've got my New Mutants crew holding it down. And because I think we're almost to 11 now, we may have 11 of them. I add 3 of those people into that giveaway wheel as well. So 3 of those people get to get on the big wheel and have a shot at winning as well. So those folks are freaking awesome. I appreciate it a ton. Oh, back again. Rob is back again. Fat Stacks throwing it down, dropping the hammer. Let's see if I got something fun for him. What can I do for Rob? Let's see here. There we go. We haven't done this one in a little while. I don't need anybody else. I don't need anybody else but Rob. And how about some sliding on the ground? That's when my kids could fit in footy jammies, and I could like throw them across the hardwood floors, and they would slide for miles. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, don't you wish you could be back in that age? It's like a slip and slide in the middle of your living room, right? I don't know who got the channel memberships, but I will update that and get them so that they are eligible to be on the wheel because we're coming up here soon. It'll probably be. I gotta check when am I doing the March giveaway because I'm not doing the stream the next 2. So it might even be all the way to the 12th before I pick the winner, but I will definitely keep all those folks on for a little longer unless I can find a way to do it. Maybe I'll do it in the middle of a week at some point instead of on a Saturday, just because the next 2 Saturdays. No, I can do it on the. Can I do it on Saturday? Ugh, I might not be able to do it on the 5th. I will figure it out. I might do it on Friday night, the 4th, before I fly to Portland the next day. Things to think about. Make my brain work. David Reese, Shattered Glass, Trev, the Shipping Guru, 23 Monch, and Norin Rad Art and Comics. Congrats. Thank you to Rob for gifting those 5 memberships out and those channel members. You are now eligible for early access to the videos I drop most Sunday nights, and you can be in on the giveaway at the end of the month. So good luck for that. I hope everybody has a great Saturday. I want to mention that MJ Comics is interviewing Rob in just a little while. It's morning time early, for me, but it's late night for James of MJ Comics. He's interviewing Rob, and that's going to be a really entertaining show. And then, of course, I'm assuming, Rob, you've got a slab show going on today at some point, I think, as well. So Rob's going to be all across the YouTubes today. So be tuned in to his channel and to MJ's channel because there's going to be a lot of good stuff. Yeah, so 2 Pacific. And then Rob's show is usually in a couple hours from right now, 11:30 Pacific, I believe, is when Rob usually goes live. So I believe he's got his show going on today as well. Anybody else, feel free to let us know if you're going live or if you've got a show. I'm usually around, but I may be going out to dinner this evening. It's a patron of comic art is on today. That should be very entertaining. 11:30. Yes, I was right. Huzzah. I just wait for the notification bell. That's the best way to do it. If you guys don't have the notification bell clicked for your favorite channels, that's something that's easy to fix. I highly recommend doing it because those channels like Rob's that go live, you want to know when they're hitting the live button. So that's the best way to do it. I like the notification bell. That's my best way. That's my favorite way to do it. I filter through and find the live streams easily that way. Huge thank you to everybody for coming by, for hanging out. And I will be back live a bunch next week. But the next time I'm live on my channel will probably be Friday next week, because in between I will be doing shows on other people's channels instead. So sorry that that this channel will just have edited content until next Friday, but you can still catch me on other channels like D&D with White Whale tomorrow night, on JP's channel Tuesday night, and on No Good Comics on Wednesday. So I'll be across the YouTubes as well. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you all again soon.